Electro and Banno Movie Power Hour. You know what? Where's Hawk at? Listener discretion advised. Hands in.
To the Electro and Banno Movie Power Hour. I am Electro, of course.
Yo, what up? This is Banno.
And we are back again with another exciting edition of the Movie Power Hour. We are movie lovers here, of course. We are not the critics, we're not the critics like those critics out there. And, we don't work in the industry or anything like that. We are just straight movie lovers here. You're getting it straight from the source, right from the main vein. We're the movie goers, and we just love to talk about movies. Me and Banno have been watching movies together for our whole lives, so
really long time.
That's what we're doing here, and we've been on an Oscar journey, Banno.
Yeah,
you
man.
And I.
Awards being handed out.
And, the Oscars came and went when we started this project.
Yeah.
But, we finish what we start here at the Movie Power Hour. So
Absolutely.
So we're going to finish our Oscar journey, but not on this day.
No.
It is not this day, Banno.
No. I'm a man of my word.
There you go.
We have to finish it. We got to finish the job. If you listen to the last episode, you would hear our take on Honora. And, full swing of the fucking Oscars.
Yeah. So the Oscars have happened now. We know who won.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about Dune on this podcast for, I don't know.
A while.
Many years. Since the first Dune came out.
Like 3 years already.
And, the main reason we went on this journey is because I'm like, okay, Dune 2 was triumphant and it did not get the Oscar recognition that I believe it should have. And so we're watching these Oscar movies, but today is the day that we're going to talk about the reason we went on this journey. It's because I really wanted to talk about the Dune movies, and I feel like it took, like, Banno did not want to watch, you did not want to watch these films.
Yeah, I didn't care for it, really, to be honest. I don't really care for good old Timmy, even though he's kind of won me over. I'll give you that. The movie does look fantastic, but it's just like it's like the Star Wars feel. I'll watch them eventually, but I'm not seeking to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the case because part 2 came out, and I didn't just want to watch part 2, so I go back and watch.
So you
Dune.
barely watched Dune Part 1 right before you watched Dune Part 2?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got the full feel, the whole story connected. I'd have to wait fucking 3 years.
That's good. You're right. Because as triumphant as Dune Part 1 was when it came out, and I loved it, it is like straight up like, fuck.
Well, you gotta wait. You gotta wait a little bit.
And same thing happens with Dune 2, actually. This one also ends with like, fuck. Like, you want to see what happens already. You don't want to wait 3 years.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to tackle the goddamn Dune movies because, I've been wanting to do it for years. And Banno finally had some mercy and watched the fucking films.
I'm sorry.
I had to take him on a whole Oscar journey just for this to happen.
I also like the fact that I could not only recognize Timothée Chalamet from Dune, but I watched a bunch of his other stuff, and I know that he had Dune 2 and this Bob Dylan adaptation come out around the same time, and it's kind of like, okay, before I get the fucking Marvel version of a fucking person, let me get some deep cut stuff, Right. What I mean? So it was good because when I watched Dune, wow, he goes for it. He definitely has the acting chops. Same shit with Zendaya. You know what I mean? And then you get the familiar faces in there anyways. Yeah.
Well, we start off the journey with Dune Part 1 that came out on October 22nd, 2021. We got an 8 out of 10 on IMDb, 83% Rotten Tomatoes score, and 90% audience score. It's a classic tale, that Dune. Paul Atreides arrives on Arrakis after his father accepts stewardship of a dangerous planet. However, chaos ensues after a betrayal as forces clash to control, how do you even say that word? Melange? A precious resource. Okay. So this movie was directed by Denis Villeneuve, who, I mean, he's been making some of the best movies since the early 2010s. He came on the radar with Sicario, right?
Right.
So he made 2 movies before that. He's made a good amount of movies before that, but they were all short films and foreign films because he's from, I don't know where the hell he's from. He's French or something. French Canadian, yeah.
Okay.
So he made a bunch of French films, and I've never seen them. But Sicario comes out. Sicario is like one of those kind of modern masterpieces, isn't it? Like,
absolutely.
I love that movie, and you could tell that there's like a master behind making that fucking film. Right, visually, a score, everything. Like, this motherfucker can make a film, dude.
Yeah.
And then after Sicario came out, I think I watched Enemy first. Did you ever watch Enemy? Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
No, I don't think so.
It's like about an actor who then sees another him, and then he kind of becomes obsessed with the fact that there's a person that looks exactly like him. And then it's a really weird movie.
Sounds weird.
But it's a really good movie. I watched that. And then Prisoners, that came out in 2013. You got Hugh Jackman and Gyllenhaal. And I think this was the first movie, other than Zodiac, where I was like, oh, fuck, Gyllenhaal can act. Like, he's a good actor, actually, you know? And then I was like, damn. So he got a great performance out of Jake in these movies, and Hugh Jackman's always fucking great.
He fucking crushes that role, man.
It's like, we gotta look at the fucking Oscars, but did he get nominated for that? Because that's some bullshit.
We'll explore that when we do the episode on Prisoners. I feel like Prisoners definitely deserves an episode for itself.
Absolutely. And then he directed Arrival.
I don't think I watched that.
I watched it. I've only seen it once. Watched it at the movie theaters, and I was pretty disappointed by it. But I remember leaving the movie theater, and I watched it with Lily and my buddy Jonesy, and I couldn't stop talking about it for like an hour. But I was like upset by it because everyone's talking about how amazing it was. So I was like underwhelmed. But then at the same time, like, I don't know, I just couldn't stop talking about it. But I haven't seen it since. I have to rewatch it.
I was going to say, yeah, look at the time. So the Arrival came out in 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, almost 10 years. That's crazy. And then he directed Blade Runner 2049, which is one of my fucking favorites. I fucking love that movie. Whenever, like, when I get new TV or new Blu-ray player, new thing, like, I always throw this fucking movie onto
the test.
That's like, how does fucking Blade Runner look on this fucking screen? Because that's a gorgeous fucking film.
Okay.
And same goes for Dune 1 and 2, which follow Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
But Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, like, all of these movies are like ramping up. You know, Sicario is still pretty, there's not a lot of CG in it or nothing. That's just like a well executed fucking practical film. But then when he hits Arrival, now he's dealing with big ships, CG, like real visual stuff. And then Blade Runner takes that shit to a whole other level because it's a whole future and shit.
Right.
And that movie looks fucking fantastic. And then we go into Dune Part 1, which a lot of people were disappointed by it because of how it ended. Because it just felt like this is just like not a whole movie.
So when Dune came out, was it announced to be a multi-part thing, or were they just, I mean, that had to be the intention, right?
Well, it was strange because it came out during the pandy.
Right.
So this was a really expensive film. Like, the budget was $165 million.
Wow.
So, yeah, this movie was expected to make a lot of money, and it's released during the pandemic. This is one of those movies that was on HBO Max the day that it got released in theaters.
Right.
Only the real fucking nerds were out there
putting in the groundwork.
Because you could fucking put
yeah.
You had it there at home. You could watch it.
Yeah, I still didn't watch it though.
I didn't. I all right. Like right before I went, like I was waiting to go watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna watch like the first 2 minutes right now, just so I know what's gonna.
Right.
Like, what if I'm late?
Which should happen.
Let me watch the first 2 minutes.
COVID protocols. You gotta take your time. You gotta plan for that.
Yeah, you gotta be safe first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Paul knew that. It was very much like a part one of a story, and that left people hanging. And yeah, so the movie had to have a certain success in order for part two to be greenlit, because now it wasn't a for sure thing. It came out during the fucking pandemic.
Right.
And I mean, it made okay worldwide, 400 million during a pandemic, while you could watch the movie on HBO Max at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. So probably if there was no pandemic going on, it probably would have made like 6, 7, maybe 800 million.
Maybe the bill.
Maybe.
You never know. There was a lot of super spreaders. Look at that, though. I mean, 400 million. That's a lot of fucking people, man.
Because you go by part two. Part two is almost a $200 million budget movie, 190. And it makes 714.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, 2 hours and 46 minutes.
A little long.
Yeah, like it could have been a little bit better, but that's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting on part 3 now, and we'll see what happens. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of these films. So Dune is based on a novel by Frank Herbert, who originally the book was published in 1965. And then since then there's been it was revered as like this great science fiction story. And when Star Wars came out, like it's basically Star Wars. The story is essentially Star Wars. And so Frank Herbert was like, dude, like, how am I not supposed to sue these motherfuckers for, like, George Lucas just read Dune and he's just like, I got this. Yeah. I'll take out the sandworms and we're good. Right. And so, yeah, it becomes this, like, a lot of people would say it was like an unadaptable book, because a lot's going on in it. Like, we just did not have the technology.
We don't have the technology.
No. So the first adaptation was actually a movie in 1984 directed by David Lynch, who is obviously he recently died, but he's one of the greats. David Lynch is actually a pretty big blind spot for me. He's considered one of the great directors. People love his movies. They think they're amongst the greats, right?
Right.
I've only ever seen one David Lynch film, and I watched it recently, and it was, what was it called? Lost Highway. Fucking weird ass movie, man. And apparently all of his movies are all like really weird.
Okay.
So he tried to adapt this shit in 1984, and his movie covers what both Dune 1 and 2 do, but in one movie.
Right.
So you could see how, like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot to put in one fucking movie. This dude needed almost 6 hours to tell this story. And then Dune from 1984 is 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Right.
Dune Part 1 is longer than Dune 1984.
Right.
And then after that, it was made into a mini series, like, I don't know, on the Sci-Fi Channel or something. I don't know where, but there's another adaptation or a mini series that's supposed to be like maybe more faithful than the 1984 version. But then, you know, the movie gods all gathered and said, hey, you know what? Denis Villeneuve should be the fucking guy that can finally, now that we have the technology, this story could be told.
Right.
And honestly, Denis Villeneuve is probably like up there with like Nolan and, you know, just like the great cinematic fucking directors that are really like putting an emphasis on making the movie look
Like a
beautiful.
film, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you get with these Dune movies, man. Because everything is fucking perfect looking in these movies, in my opinion. Like, it's a big work of art. I had never really fucked with Dune or nothing, right? Didn't know nothing about the story.
I was gonna ask you, like, have you read the book? Did you even watch that first adaptation?
No, the only thing I know about the film is that it's notorious for that David Lynch tried to make a movie and that it was not really met. Like, some people really like it, but other people were like,
They're probably because they're fans of him, right? Rather than fans of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's a good director, and it's probably good in its own way. I'm sure,
Yeah.
But I guess it just wasn't super faithful or adaptation. It's all crammed into one movie. It's a tall order. He did his best, but it's just kind of like a known story, and he kind of hates that movie. He blames the studio for not letting him do what he wanted to do and stuff. And then when they asked him, like, are you going to watch the new one before he died? He was like, fuck no. Like, fuck that guy. And fuck, like, he's still bitter about not being able to do the Dune movie that he wanted to do. And shit. So, it's a compromised version of it. It's not the version that he wanted to put out, kind of like, but he did make it.
It's credited. He's credited.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I knew about the Dune story, and that it had sandworms in it. Right. That's all I knew. But because, I love Blade Runner 2049 and obviously Sicario. But Blade Runner 2049, I love that movie. So seeing that he's going to do a Dune movie, which also has a lot of like spaceships, space, stuff like that, I was like, oh, this is fucking perfect for this guy. Like, this is going to be like a great looking film.
And the way he delivers it, and not to get into it just yet, but just the cinematic approach with the grittiness of the feels of his movies. Like, Prisoners is a super dark movie, but it's even that movie is really pretty as well. So you kind of see that. You're going into that. I went into it super blind. I mean, I know that you haven't read the thing. I didn't watch the trailer, nothing. You know what
clue.
I mean? Nothing. So pleasantly surprised with this film.
Yeah. When the movie starts, and I remember watching it the first time. I don't know about you. Mm-hmm. I went to go see it the first time in the movie theater, and I grasped what was happening, but I was like, I didn't understand half of what they were talking about. Right. Like House Atreides, it's a lot of information to take in the first time you're watching it. It took me watching it a second time to really like understand what happened.
So what I did is I watched it back to back. I watched it the first time by myself and just ran through it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to make my girl watch it, and we're going to rewatch it. Because I know for sure, just like you, I missed some shit. And then watching it the second time, literally one day to the next, which was cool because I didn't have to wait or be like, oh, I felt a certain way. Like, now let me just get the same feel out of it. And yeah, it's a lot up front.
Yeah.
But once you do understand it, like, okay, it gets moving immediately.
Well, you get what's happening, but you kind of don't get why or what. You know that fucking Oscar Isaacs, Leto, he's gonna take over Arrakis, but the whole thing that they're signing and the scroll and like the fucking like all the shit that's happening before that, I'm like, what? Like the first time, I was just like, this all looks cool,
right?
And they're saying things.
It's a cool ceremony.
Yeah, it was a nice ceremony, you know.
It is nice. It's pleasant. Everyone's in a good mood.
Yeah, but the movie starts off. And also, like, immediately the movie starts off with Zendaya as, what's her name in this movie? I was going to say
Chani, I believe.
Chani?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Chani.
Right?
Yeah. So it starts off with Chani narrating and talking about spice, basically. They right off the bat introduce spice.
Right.
And that it's what makes inner interstellar or intergalactic fucking space travel possible.
Right.
And it can only be gotten from this planet, Arrakis.
Mm-hmm.
So she's telling a tale about how their people, the Furmen, have just been oppressed by some fucking overlord that comes to the planet for the spice.
Right.
And they're basically always at war with whoever the hell's there trying to take the natural resources of this place.
Right.
So she kind of breaks that down. Like, you need the spice. The spice is the shit. The spice is on our fucking land, unfortunately. So we are on a fucking, like, blood fucking battle because of this shit. And,
Right.
and there we go, you know? And so then the movie starts off where the Emperor, who you do not even see in the first movie, he's just referred to as the Emperor.
Right.
He fucking told Leto, hey, man, I need you to go and into Arrakis, and you just got promoted, you know?
What do you think? Gonna get it for free?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
A little bit of the mummy there, little Benny. You just been promoted. So he's been tasked to go to fucking Arrakis and continue spice harvesting. Yeah, you're in charge, buddy. And he has his son, Paul, played by Timothy Chalamet, and then he has his smoking hot wife, Lady Jessica, played by our woman, Rebecca Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
God bless her.
Yep.
Great actress.
She's awesome.
She's precious to us.
Yep.
And so, you know, you got the fucking Brady Bunch over here. Just a bunch of just a happy family.
Thriving family.
Jeez, your dad's a duke.
Yeah.
Kick-ass duke.
Looks great.
Mighty beard.
Super powerful.
I was watching this film being like, imagine living, these people are just cool living like in these giant like
ships.
Not just ships,
traveling.
but like, so when they get to Arrakis and they are living like in their house, or it's like a temple or something.
Yeah, it's like the pyramids.
Like giant fucking stairs to the big stairway to get to your fucking room or something, you know, just giant like a pyramid. These
soft LED lighting. You got all the fixtures, big doors.
I love, there's a beautiful mix in this movie of futuristic / ancient,
right,
/ good old like American uniform patriot shit from like I don't know what
militarized.
Yeah, but like from I don't know what period, you know, like, you know, something a little different. They do a great job of making it seem futuristic / old /
like like Empire times, like Roman Empire times, right? Everyone's serving and fucking for the Republic.
Yeah, dude, you major gladiator vibes, especially in the second one.
Yeah.
A little bit of a Maximus tale here.
Heavy Maximus.
Yeah. And you even get some of those like,
yeah, those are good.
Fuck, dude, those really hammer the point home. They really set the vibe, the emotions. You're oh yeah. I know exactly what Maximus is going through. Are you kidding me? This woman is singing his feelings.
Absolutely. Then you look at Paul and you're like, what's he gonna do here? What's going on with Paul?
And so whatever. You meet Paul and he's just this bag of bones just on this bed.
Barely walking. Like,
what the hell? They're not feeding. What's House Atreides even? Like, I don't see any food in this house.
You just moved to Arrakis. There's like nothing there. What are you going to feed this boy?
Yeah, but, you know, you meet him and he's like just studying Arrakis already. He's got his AI telling him everything.
Right.
I guess he's just like super smart. I don't know. He's just as smart as He's just whip smart.
It's also that's where we get a little matrixy, right? You're just down.
I will be the one.
And Jet Li. You mix it all.
Oh, great point. Jet Li, the one.
Yeah.
It will be the one.
Paul was on that journey. And it's really Matrixy.
Eula? Is his name Ula, or what's his name in that movie?
Yulong.
Eula. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're going to do the one soon. That's what Chalamet as Paul is really pushing right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in that aspect, I think it gets really Matrixy because essentially he's downloading information in real time and understanding it as what it is, right? It's not like, oh, well, I think. I mean, sure, he's giving you the relatable part, but that comes later in the story. But I did like that because I kind of equated it to little Matrix stuff. You know what I mean? He just got the information quick. That's it. I know Kung Fu.
That's true. Well, obviously he is a Neo.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you long ago that I think, maybe you disagree, but I think that these two movies are like the best version of that story. Like The Matrix being one of those stories. He's the one. He's gonna fucking whatever. The people are gonna follow him and sacrifice whatever.
Right,
you know,
right.
Comes back from the dead. I don't. You know.
Right. The road to Zion. Really. That's what it is.
It's all
paradise.
It's all in the text.
He says it. I'll take you to paradise.
Machines. Yeah.
It's laid out. I think that guy needs to sue both George Lucas and the Wachowski.
Yeah.
I'm hearing the same thing.
Exactly.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's the best story of that tale, you know? I mean, you like the Matrix movies more than I do.
For sure.
And I think I like these movies more than you do.
Right.
But I mean, you gotta admit that these movies are better than the Matrix.
They're fantastic. I mean, technology. If the Wachowskis had this tech, we'd be talking.
They did. Well, at least one of them did. And what did she do?
Well,
Was it a fucking? Did we talk about it anyway? Like we're talking about Dune?
No, probably not.
There was nothing about that movie that was like that was fucking great.
Yeah.
It was a big fucking Joker 2 to the fans.
Right.
I don't know, but hardcore Matrix people stand by that film.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they'll stand by it. But some of them don't. I mean, I know I don't.
Yeah.
Is your opinion changed on Matrix Resurrections?
Actually, it's been reinforced, to be honest.
You watched it again?
Yeah, of course. That story's honestly fucking great. I'm not saying that this story isn't. I'm just saying that story is really on some other shit. But this is some intergalactic travel, fantasy shit. The robots are gonna kill us, dude. That's the life we're gonna live. I'm not worried about spice. Okay, I'm scared of the machines, dude.
Machines.
Exactly. Lawrence was telling you then. Okay. Just saying, it's different, but yes.
So yeah.
Capable. Didn't execute, but Dune executes on all levels. And back to what I was saying about his movies, the fucking cinematography is fucking great.
Yeah.
And Paul coming into the story, you're kind of skeptical of that.
He sees a bag of bones. You see his mom kind of like orders him around. His mom's the one kind of making sure that he is the man that he is, and his dad's like, whatever.
I'm conquering
I'm the fucking Duke. I don't have time to raise you. We gotta
I'm traveling the galaxy, and you're over here, essentially just being like a stay-at-home mom.
Take care of the kid.
Take care of the kid. Teach him some things.
You're a witch, right? Yeah. Teach him some witch shit.
At least, but give him his iPad. He'll be okay.
But there's a level of respect that you get for Leto because he's with Lady Jessica. Like he has to be one mighty man. I'll tell you that.
He was mighty for sure.
He had a mighty beard and that stash.
Mm-hmm.
He was born to be in that general suit and those fucking coats, dude. Don't you just want a badass coat like that?
Yes, I do.
God damn the world. I need one of those coats, and I need it to be cold and just to be like standing there,
Right.
with it flapping.
Right.
And then you come, and I'm like, Banno, it's not the same anymore, man. What do you mean?
Look what they've done to him. This is the result.
It's all frozen.
Uh-huh.
You see that he's a bit of a mama's boy, but then mama, she's got her own fucking plans.
Right.
And so you find out that she is a Bene Gesserit.
Mm-hmm.
So she's involved in some witchy things.
Yeah.
And then you get introduced to these witches that it seems like, they're right out of Hercules.
Right. That's the vibe I got. This evil
Indoor
stuff.
plumbing. It's gonna be big. So the witches from fucking Hercules show up in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the ultimate test. Lady Jessica has been training him in these witchy ways, which goes against the code. She was supposed to have a female,
yes,
and make another witch,
right?
But she had a man, and she decided she didn't give a fuck, that she was still gonna teach him the ways,
right?
And then, hey, and maybe he's the one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody could do it, it's me. Lady Jessica.
Right. And that's the crazy part to that too. I do like that from the story. And again, it's giving a real matriarch approach. The preachy shit that we were talking about of feminism, right? It's just kind of like these witches are like the deep state, right? They're
pulling the strings.
Exactly. They're the ones doing all this
just
shit.
Like in Hercules, they pull the hairs and then they cut them.
Dude, the string of fate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. You're right.
It's all there, buddy.
And she was going against it. So for her to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the ultimate one of us. I don't give a fuck because I need to hold this power. Mm-hmm. I need to be the top bitch at this witch convent or whatever.
Yeah.
It is.
In a way, you could look at it as a sweet way of being like, that's just a mom,
right,
doing the complete like, I am gonna set my kid up,
right.
And also, maybe I'll fucking rule the world with him.
I'll get some pushed my way, and I can make the calls.
What do you think the intentions are here? Do you think her intention is to just save Paul and is she just taking care of her son, or is she more fucking devious about it? Is she trying to take over the world, Banno?
Absolutely, she is, because I feel like she didn't get the respect because, she didn't have a daughter. And again, we're talking about 2018's a young child coming up, right? And she's been I feel like she's been dealing with that, being like, they outed me since the birth of this child. And I now have to fucking like prove to them that not only were they wrong, but fuck you. Like, I'm going to completely overthrow anything that you thought was possible because I didn't have a fucking girl. Because she was like some super,
right.
Her ability and her powers are greater. It had massive potential, but witches be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, I don't know. The first time I saw it, I just thought it was her just like trying to survive, trying to make them survive. Because obviously these fucking witches over here, they're in cahoots. I don't know if it's explained yet. Probably not till later.
No.
But anyway, the Emperor chose Leto to go fucking take over Arrakis and lead and whatever, take
control of the spice.
It. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the end of the day, this turns out to be a bit of a double cross.
Right.
Okay. And you get introduced to the Baron. The Baron Harkin. I love that. I love that name. The Baron.
Uh-huh.
Harkonnen. These names, this fucking writer, dude, he knew how to fucking come up with cool names for things. Harkonnen, Atreides.
Right.
Fucking very good.
Arrakis,
dude.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dune. Yeah, so you get introduced to the Harkonnens, and you could see that they're in cahoots with the fucking Hercules witches, right?
Right.
And they basically give the Baron the okay. Like, all right, go for it. Slaughter all of House of Atreides.
Right.
We have a deal, though, for Timmy and Lady Jessica over here.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I forgot. Paul has to pass that pain box test.
Oh, correct.
He has to prove.
What's the name of that fucking?
Let's see here.
What was it? Don something? No.
Hey, say it.
Gon Jabbar.
Okay, that's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has to put his hand in the pain box.
Right.
And then she has like a needle right to his fucking throat. And he takes his hand out, clipped.
You're done.
So he has to pass that test in order to
even proceed.
Yeah. But they're not happy about it. And they're very clear. She was just like, you wasted all this potential. Like, yeah, he's good. But like, imagine if it was a woman, like,
right.
That would have been the fucking shit.
Right. She does a great way of saying that too. Like she breaks him down emotionally before he even conducts the test. And from the moment she pulls out that, I forget what the name is, but the spike, and that will kill him, is like, you're wasting your mother's potential. Like she's literally our best, and you just wasted that because you're a fucking man. Like fuck you. Preachy bullshit that I'm talking about here. But you get that, and honestly, the way they did it, I didn't mind it. I don't mind it. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Don't kill me, please. And he really gives you that. He gives you that. He's scared. He's a scared, bitch made little kid.
But he has it in him to withstand that test. So
sure.
He has the potential.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't taken the what pill does
the red pill?
He hasn't taken the red pill yet.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't begun to believe yet, Banno. Because as soon as they get to Arrakis, the first time that Paul comes off of the ship and there's people around, people are already saying, what is it, the Al-Gaib? Or
Lisan Al-Gaib.
They're calling him that the second they see him.
Right.
Some people.
Right. You hear the whispers in the air.
They're like, oh, fuck, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's him right there.
Lisan Al-Gaib. Imagine that. You're coming to a new world and someone says that. Pretty crazy. Pretty impactful. Just saying.
Yeah. You also get introduced to Jason Momoa's character, Duncan, Idaho. And he's just supposed to be like this ultimate warrior. And Paul, he can also like see the fucking future and shit.
He's having these dreams.
He has visions that sometimes come true and sometimes don't.
Right.
So he sees the vision of Duncan, Idaho, biting it.
Clip.
Yeah, getting iced.
Yep.
So he wants to go and he wants to fucking he's like, if I'm there, you won't fucking die. So I want to go and battle. And they're like, nah. So they're going to send Duncan, Idaho off to fucking make some kind of peace with the Furman or some shit before everybody arrives to take over their planet.
Right.
And fucking Leto, he's a righteous duke.
Right.
He doesn't want to fucking oppress the Furman. He wants to come in, get the spice, but work with them.
He needs to do his job. All right. He was appointed by the Emperor to do a task,
which we don't know yet, but that's Christopher Walken. Okay.
Yeah, when the president tells you to go do the thing, you do it. All right. He's a humble servant. Very humble. That's it. Just an honest man doing what he's told. Military even. You know what I mean? Just defending good old America.
That's right.
House Atreides.
I like the shield too. They established the shield. Yep. And a cool little training scene with when you get introduced to Josh Brolin, one of the fucking most badass fucking actors we got out there. He's playing, what's his name?
Oh man,
Gurney Halleck.
I think they could have done better, but it's okay.
Well, they did better, and they put Josh Brolin.
There you go.
In that role,
you're right.
Because he crushes it. God damn it, he's so goddamn good. And he's like Leto's like right hand man, like his war general or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are all the players here, and so they make contact with Javier Bardem. He comes in with his fucking Stilgar,
right?
And then they kind of try to make peace with him, and he's just like very honorable, like, all right, cool, a little spit of respect,
right?
And all good, except the Baron, of course, was planning on slaughtering everybody, and then he starts to execute his plan. We get a triumphant death to Leto, who sacrifices himself to try to kill the Baron, but no dice.
Kills his whole crew, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't go down without,
He gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you like see the Baron. He's like this fat, disgusting dude.
Right.
But then he's like Jabba the Hutt. See, they stole everything from that.
Yeah.
Because he's like a slug or something.
They're the Sith, man. They're the Sith. House Atreides is the Jedi. You know what I mean? There's a good in the fucking galaxy.
I love that part where he's just like in that black goo when he comes out of it. This is just like the perfect like bad guy.
Really gross stuff.
Yeah. And he has his little speech like, my Dune. That actor has a great voice. He's also from Deep Blue Sea, so we knew he had the chops since then.
Yeah.
We're going to do an episode on Deep Blue Sea.
Yes, we are.
Just got released on 4K, and I rewatched it for the first time in I don't know how long. And yeah, I don't know. As far as it goes, it's like Dune 2, then maybe Deep Blue Sea, right? I do that as
right in the
cinematic achievements.
Nice and sandwiched between both Dune.
Both brilliant.
Masterful, really.
I'm pretty sure Denis saw Deep Blue Sea too. Okay, because those worms kind of move like those sharks. So I don't know that little shark like movements there.
Well, he needs to sue. Homeboy needs to sue.
Someone needs to pay him.
Yeah,
someone should pay him.
Yes.
Yes.
Really gross character. I did like the scene where they come in and they paralyze him and the sneaking, the double.
Get him naked, complete humiliation.
I'll tell you what though, he looked good.
He looked great.
I would love to look like that if I'm fucking paralyzed and fucking.
He looks like a fucking warrior. Greek painting or something.
It's the warrior about to suffer his sacrifice.
Yeah.
Also, surprise beheading scene, very cool.
Who gets beheaded?
The fucking House Atreides traitor. What are you talking about? Oh, they have my wife, man.
All right,
fuck you, dude. You just gave this.
You fucked this all up.
Decapitated. Okay, you have no respect for. So I don't mind it. But I was like, whoa.
But at the end of the day, he at least gave him the
sure. Sure, he would still be alive. How about that?
That's true.
At
least could have given him a chance to get away.
Fighting chance.
Yeah.
Paralyzed. And then you kill yourself. I mean, I guess that's the best way you can.
I mean, at that point, like, why didn't he put the tooth in his own mouth?
True.
Why did he have to make Leto?
Well, at that point, I think they already had him, right? I think that he was going to be on the, I'm good, I did my deed type thing.
Yeah, he thought they were going to
come on, get over here.
Hey.
Head chop. Love it. I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, yeah, it shows you how ruthless these Harkonnens are.
Yeah. Evil, sadistic,
real evil. Duncan, Idaho, he gets the hell out of there. I really like the scene too, where you just see all the ships coming down to
like the invasion.
Yeah, and fucking triumphant Brolin just being like, anything with guns, let's go.
Yeah,
just run straight into battle. There's just something so awesome about that.
Yeah.
it's very futuristic, ships, laser fucking guns and stuff.
Right.
But then they still sword fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, but I want to fight. If you're Brolin, you're going to want to fight one-on-one.
I'm going to take your life.
Mano y mano.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the first movie, too. You see them go into this battle, and you never find out what happened. That's the last you see of Gurney.
You just kind of assume, yeah.
Yeah, like they probably all got fucking
willing to die.
Yeah,
to defend.
But that was fucking sick, you know, when like all the ships are coming down, and then like there's just smoke, and they're all in a line. Like, fuck it, dude. We're all just gonna go out here and fucking throw down. And like you talked about earlier, the beautiful fucking scene, because so they're like all defending the house or whatever, and you just see those stormtroopers just perfectly glide behind them, just being like, you guys are you have no idea, these guys just
killers, just
fucking
professionals,
gracefully floated down to fucking murder you guys.
That's what Boba Fett wished he was. No disrespect.
Seriously. But anyway, everybody gets slaughtered, but Duncan Idaho, he fucking shags ass out of there.
Yep.
And Paul and Lady Jessica, since the witches made a deal for their lives, but the Baron, he tried to be sneaky, and he's like, hey, like, I said I would let them live, but we're going to throw them out in the middle of the desert. There's no fucking way that they're going to survive, you know?
Right.
The desert will take them.
But little do they know, Paul's been watching videos of life in Arrakis. So.
Paul's a YouTuber. Okay, you can learn so much on YouTube. There's a lot of self-made documentaries out there that are just giving you all the info. Yep. This is how you evade worms.
So I went to Arrakis and
it was lit. So this is the first time that Paul uses the voice also to fucking kill some motherfuckers, because they're about to just get thrown out into the desert. But he's able to use the voice to help Lady Jessica fucking murder all these dudes, and they just run off into the desert and chill in a little tent.
That scene is really, really cool. Again, she shows her power, her capability. And at first, too, is like kind of testing them in that instance, too. It's like, hey, we're going to get out of here. It's not even going to, it's going to be fine.
Right.
But let me see what you can do, right? Get us out of here. Yeah?
Right.
At least that's how I saw the scene. I don't know if that was a direct intention.
I don't think so. I don't know. Because they didn't gag him because they have no idea that he can do that.
Right.
That's why she's gagged.
Yes.
And so... And she's also telling him, like, don't try it, dude. You're just going to try it, and we're just going to get fucked up. And he misses it the first time. But then...
She signals him.
Because he can't do it good enough. So he still has to get the guy to ungag her. And then she, being the fucking treacherous woman that she is, she's just like, okay, you go kill that guy. And then fucking, you know... a little throat stab and shit. Women are brutal like that. Stuff. Hey, go fucking kill this guy in a fucked up way.
And kill yourself. How about that?
Yeah. a little bit of witchcraft to get you out of that one.
Evil. Dark arts.
Yeah. And then so then they go off into the desert. Duncan Idaho finds them. They're gonna they want to get them off Arrakis, of course, but then Paul's like, for what, dude? Like, everything, like my family's dead. Everything that we stood for is dead. Why not fucking just stay here and fucking let's get a little bit of revenge, you know?
Yeah.
And Lady Jessica's like, your father didn't believe in revenge, but and he's like, yeah, well,
I'm not my father.
They killed him, so I don't give a shit. He's dead, and I'm going to avenge him.
Yes. Something you women don't understand. Just kill men.
Yeah. And the whole time he's been having these fucking boner dreams about Zendaya.
Oh, that's right.
You know? he sees
He's a
him.
growing boy, so he's gonna have a couple of dreams.
Yeah,
right?
he's gonna have some of those wet dreams.
Yeah, there's not a lot of water in Arrakis. Gotta make the most of it.
Exactly.
It's sacred there. You spit on the hand, you're losing fluid.
Exactly. So do they not want to have sex? You
I don't
think?
think so, dude. It's too much perspiration.
Yeah,
dude.
that's a lot of
All your sweat.
moisture, especially on the woman's part. That is a lot of liquids leaving. You're definitely dehydrated.
You're dead.
Por lo menos conmigo. You're gonna say
In my experience. Just saying. Now you had Arrakis to it.
Yeah, but anyway, Duncan Idaho, he fucking bites it, sacrifices. So then it shows you an example of Paul's visions coming true.
Right.
And he didn't know that at the time. He was saying that like if he was there, he could have prevented it. He didn't know at the time that he was there the whole
Correct.
time.
Correct.
And he couldn't do anything to stop it.
Meaning, yeah, it's inevitable. It's going to happen regardless. You're just getting a little glimpse of the future.
Yeah, and he's also getting glimpses of this chick who he keeps dreaming of fucking stabbing him in the dick, I think. And I don't know.
Ouch.
A
Probably.
little dick stab.
Women are ruthless in these films.
I know. So he's dreaming about that, and he's also, I think at this point, he's also had visions where he sees himself as like ruling the world, right? Or being like
in the clouds, just enjoying peace across the galaxy.
But anyway, he decides he wants to join the Furman,
Right.
try to get revenge by killing the Harkonnens and joining the Furman, who that's what they do anyway. That's they're harvesting spice. Part of the territory is that the fucking Furman are gonna fucking attack you from time to time.
Yeah, we came in with a plan. We didn't want to fuck with you guys. These are merciless people. They're gonna kill you and still do it. We came in shaking hands. You know what I mean? And it's true. And I think that plays a huge part into not only learning the ways, but then somewhat being respected. Right?
Yeah, so Javier Bardem's like, look, if you want to fucking join us, there's only one fucking way, and that's a mano y mano, a soul for a soul, kind of Thanos.
Blood in, blood out, dude.
Mi vida loca,
You gotta do it.
Yeah, so he has to essentially beat and kill one of the Furman, and then he could take his place.
Right.
That's how it works.
That's it.
Okay, that's the only way in.
Right.
I think the Crips have a very similar.
I'm telling you, this guy needs to sue all these people. The leaders of the Crips is going to be hearing from the
Wait.
What? This whole time?
Dune?
It's LA, Hollywood, you know what I mean? They're rooted, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before he fights, what's this other guy's name too? The guy that he fights. Anyway, so he has to fight this guy. So he has visions of a future with this guy in his life being like a good friend, maybe like brother-like person.
Right.
And they are gonna like really care about each other, and they're gonna learn from each other, and it's gonna be this like really good relationship.
Right.
But so then you see a version of his visions not coming true.
Right.
And it also gives another layer to it of him not wanting to kill him. It's like, bro, you and me can be fucking real buds.
Right.
You know?
Who doesn't want to be a friend with Jesus?
Exactly.
Right.
But this guy doesn't want to take none of that shit. And he's like, nah, let's fight. And, Paul, he learned in YouTube how to fight really well.
Really good.
But also, he has Duncan Idaho and Josh Brolin fucking attacking him every day. So he knows his way around a blade.
That's true.
So he fucking takes him out. And I really like that little fight at the end because Paul clearly just wins, but he doesn't want to kill him.
Right.
And he's forced to fucking kill him. And I really like that moment, that little fight, you know, pretty cool. Even in a now John Wick world where you're seeing a lot of jiu-jitsu and fucking judo chops.
Right.
Like, I like this little, like, close combat style that they came up with of this, like, little knife fighting, you know?
Well, look, man, Neo couldn't use Kung Fu to the fullest when he sparred with Morpheus. But when he fought the agent at the end, he knew it all. He knew all the moves, all the tactics necessary. And Paul did the exact same thing. He downloaded the information and bested him in his own land, took his own life, and they took his sacrifice. They took his water. Damn. That was the crazy part there, too. At the end, they're like, well, we're not going to let it go to waste. We're in a racket. We need to get all the water we can.
It's true.
You know, which was also like a road through passage and shit, you know, showing his respects as well, which is the honorable thing.
Right.
But, yeah, I think the fact there, I feel like that vision that he had of him, the choice there, you kind of see. That's why I say like the power manipulation that goes into the second part, right? He's like aware of how much power is up front and what he needs to do.
Right.
Kind of sleaze. Paul, I don't know. Letta wouldn't stand for that. And she was right. Jessica was right. He wasn't about that. He wasn't a sleaze
He's
bag.
an honorable man.
Wow.
So Dune did win a couple of Academy Awards here. It won Best Sound 2022, Best Achievement in Visual Effects, Best Achievement in Production Design.
Okay.
Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture Original Score.
We're talking Hans, baby.
Yeah, that was a fucking fantastic score. He couldn't be nominated for Dune 2 because it wasn't original. Because it was, he already did one for Dune Part 1.
Right. Fuck you.
Exactly. Best Achievement in Film Editing, and it was nominated for Best Picture. It lost, of course. It got nominated for Best Makeup, then it lost. Best Achievement in Costume Design. It won Cinematography as well it should have, and it got nominated for Best Screenplay. So Part 1 got a good amount of love in at the Oscars. Part 2 got a little bit of love and recognition, but I mean, it seems like they were a lot more generous for the first film. But I mean, I don't know how you could give all that to the first one and then not give those same ones to it again, because the second one's executed even better, I believe.
I think it's just kind of like that whole groundbreaking thing, right? You hit hard up front, and I mean, did Two Towers get a lot of rec? You know what I mean? Did they? The third one's the one that won it, right? Or
it won Best Picture and Best Director, I think.
I don't know. Maybe that's just how they play the game. Because, yeah, I mean, it was fucking great. But I feel like, we've seen it once. We've seen it all. We're okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've seen Star Wars. We saw Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah. So, going straight into Dune Part 2, I also love how it starts like the moment Part 1 ends.
Right.
Like you get right back into the story.
Right.
He just killed I want to say his name's Jamis. I could be just very wrong.
I don't know how you're making it racist, but it feels that way.
Oh my God.
Is that how will a intergalactic black man be named? And you're coming with Jarmus, dude? Jarmus. I hope it's Jarmus. We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm going to search this up.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I can do it.
Okay. Let's clear some things up, okay? We're going to have some explaining to do here.
Let's find out. Jamis.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Jarmus.
Okay, I had a little R in
It
there.
had a hard R in there. Dude.
Wow. It was pretty hard.
Yes, sir. You leaned on that one.
So anyway, the Harkonnens come after him, and you also get some great Harkonnen floating right off of the bat. They don't wait till the middle of the movie.
There. Mm-hmm.
You get that, and right away, just showing you like, look at this, look at how fucking good everything looks.
Right.
Because I think as good as part one looks, part two looks even better in every fucking way. Like just everything about it.
Right.
Part two is the shit. But Paul now is taken to like the sacred caves or something.
Well, it's hot. You need to be in something. So yeah, they go into the mountains. It's caves that they've created. Tunnel systems, really.
They're carrying Jarvis with them, and they get there, and half of the people are like, "What the fuck, homie killed Jarvis," and half of them are like, "Wait a fucking
Yeah. How did he do that?
God."
Yep.
And
God.
what the shit are you talking about? So then Stilgar's like, look, Paul did his thing. He earned a spot here.
Right.
Lady Jessica, I don't know about you. If you want to come in here, one of their like reverend mothers is dying.
Right.
So, like, you can swoop in and take her place. Otherwise, you have no purpose here.
Right.
We're just going to send you out into the desert to fucking die.
Yeah, to be tremor food. How about that?
Yeah.
We get you the fuck out of here.
Tremors. Hell yeah. That owes a lot to fucking Dune as well.
Yeah, I think they'll happily pay it though. Like they'll be like, "Yes, sir, we did take."
Tremors could not be without, and Beetlejuice.
Wow, you're right. Yeah, that was funny too. When we were watching this, I watched this with my girl, right? And she was just kind of like, "This is Tremors," which is dope because I had know she watched Tremors, and she's like, "Yeah, I've seen Tremors, no problem." It's like, okay, someone's biting this, but yeah, absolutely, yeah, get her out of here. And I feel like that's also part of the, not the sleaze, but kind of sleazy on her part too. She's like, okay, well, I can work this from the inside.
Well,
now.
but you could see that's a thing where I don't know if the characters were pure before they took the fucking snake piss, and that awakens like their dark side, their and shit,
feral wild side.
Because Lady Jessica did not want to do that.
Right.
She was telling Paul, like, if I do that, I inherit the pain of every one of these mothers that came before me. Like, I don't fucking want all that shit put in me, you know?
Right.
But she's at the same time, she's like, it's either that or I'm dead. So I guess I'm going to do it. Right. But
which is also preachy. Just saying. I get to bear the pain of, you know,
come on, Banno.
You didn't take that from that? I'm telling you, this is like a super mother story, dude. Like,
it is a super mother story. And like I said earlier, like it could be like overbearing mother, or like, yeah, like a mother that just exploits the love of her son.
And you fucking see that every fucking time. It always starts off with the nurturing, happy fucking mom, and then you get the psychotic killer bitch.
You get Norman Bates.
You get the crazy shit.
And then he's over here fucking stabbing a bitch in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It happens every fucking day out there.
He killed Jamis. Did you not see what the
everybody fucking see that? This guy's crazy.
But okay, let's let him.
Jamis is a fucking solid cat, bro.
Yeah, dude. The fuck you had to kill him for? So they're infiltrating. So it's pretty sleaze. And she's gotta exploit that.
And she's telling him too, and they're coming up with it together. She's like, some people are already calling me the fucking, come on,
Lisan Al Gaib.
Okay, he's like, some people are already saying that I'm that, so we need to exploit that and then target the non-believers and
Right,
shit.
right.
So immediately he's like, okay, we need to run with this shit.
Right. Gotta act quick.
Yeah.
Gotta be fast about it.
And, you know, Chani is like, she was barely in the first one. She's really in the very beginning and then at the end.
Right.
And this one, she's there for the whole ride. And I was telling you earlier, this is the Titanic of our fucking time. This is the Jack and Rose. This is the closest thing to Jack and Rose of like today, I think.
Right.
Or like a love story on that scale put like in a big ass movie, you know?
Right.
Like, what else? There's no great love tales out there nowadays.
No, there's typically tragedy in the big ones, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Maybe Titanic.
Titanic was it, I think.
Wow.
What else? Who else? What other famous couples from cinema? Let's do a Google search.
Right? Yeah, that dude needs to sue a lot of people, man. James Cameron, watch out. Before he kicks it, he's gonna sue some people for sure.
Okay, we got The Notebook. I guess you can't deny it.
No,
The Notebook. That was 2004.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like blockbuster major things.
I know, but I'm also talking about just like iconic couples, like in cinema, right? You got your Jack and Rose.
Save the Last Dance.
Get out of here. But Romeo and Juliet, that came out right before Titanic. That was a big deal. You got Leo and Claire Danes.
Okay, yeah.
But then after that, I mean, when Harry Met Sally, a little bit of our chick flick episode, go listen to that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was 1989, but that's iconic. Everything after here is kind of bullshit. Serendipity, I don't give a fuck about Serendipity or Save the Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
My Girl, I guess so. Macaulay. Okay, Ghost. Ghost is a good one.
Okay.
Dirty Dancing, Grease.
Grease has a couple. I mean,
Yeah, it's
sure.
John Travolta and fucking, what's this bitch's name? So anyway, a couple of examples here. You've got Mail, of course. You got your 10 Things I Hate About You. You got your cat and I don't know what his name is. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot the name too.
Yeah, but my point is that I think that Paul and Chani's little love story told in this movie, it's one of the, it's a pretty beautiful, I don't mean to sound gay, but like when you see her,
Those chick flick extravaganza films are getting to you, dude.
they are, dude. I'm finding the
unlocking
exactly. I unlocked the chick flick within Dune 2.
It's a whole difference. A side B, really.
Yeah, it's a whole. You can see that Denny is working on all levels here. He's like, I'm gonna sneak in a little Jack and Rose tragic love story in here.
Right.
See how you guys deal with that. Except Jack's not gonna die.
He's gonna live.
Their love is.
Yeah.
Denny, you beautiful French Canadian bastard.
Yeah.
So anyway, they showed that Chani and him start like basically falling in love. And at first, you know, tale as old as time. This bitch is just like fucking, he's not one of us, you know?
Right.
But he is a good fighter. I'll give him that.
He's a warrior.
Killed Jarvis.
Yeah.
Because when she was about to fight Jarvis, she told him like, oh, like he's gonna kill you, pretty much. She had complete faith in the Furman, so he's like, he'll give you a good death. You're about to have a good death. You're about to go down like a man, you know.
Right.
So then he kills Jarvis, so now she's like, wait, well, he's a fucking.
You're a man. How?
He's a killer.
Mm-hmm.
You push him,
Mm-hmm.
he'll kill.
You can do it.
So when everybody else, you got your religious radicals that are already looking at him as the Messiah. You got your skeptics, which Chani is a vocal part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's a little moisture within the desert of Chani's thighs.
Mm-hmm. It's a sacrifice.
You think deserts can't get wet?
Ask
Because they
Chani.
can.
Ask Chani in that suit.
Gets real muddy down there. Just
Imagine one of those tents. right? It harvests the water.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of precipitation.
Gotta harness that.
Exactly. So Chani's starting to feel little vagina tickles.
Right.
Because Paul's just a fucking good fighter. And then, so while she's part of the vocal side of being like, yeah, we don't need no fucking Messiah. You're no fucking Messiah. But then he starts saying all the right things. He's just like, I'm no Messiah, bitch. I'm here to learn your ways.
Right.
And be a part of you.
Yeah.
Because you guys have been fighting the Harkonnens for like whatever amount of times. Like my family's been at war with them way longer. Like this shit's personal for me too. So all I want to do is just join you guys,
right,
and take them down. Like I don't give a fuck about anything else.
Right.
And so she's like, okay, like that sounds good.
That's cool, man. All right.
And then so
let me throw this in there. That's part of the sleaze. That's part of the sleaze of the dude's gonna be like, I kind of have to bang this bitch just to move up a little bit, you know?
If I win her trust, they'll all follow.
Exactly. She's the one that's anti this. Let me infiltrate from the inside. Literally.
Let me finish inside. And
that's my sacrifice to Arrakis. I'm expelling my fluids here. For the good. But I feel like that was the sleaze part of it because it seems genuine.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I think I'm just more of optimist. The first time I saw it, I saw Paul's character as true up until it's not.
Right.
I always thought he had good motives and he's not trying to fuck anybody over.
Right.
He just wants to get revenge on, his dad, which is fucking whatever, man. It's all the great stories. Someone's trying to get revenge for their dad.
Right.
Or not all of them, but you got your Lion Kings out there. You got your... But so he swoops in, and then Chani also kind of starts teaching him the ways too. She teaches, like, they're just gonna send him off into the desert. Like, hey, look, if you're the one, you should just be able to walk out into that desert and then walk right back. You need to go past Pride Rock.
Right.
You need to go over there into the shadows. The graveyard, buddy.
Yeah. The elephant bone
mingle with some fucking hyenas. You escape some hyenas, then we can talk.
Right. No, it's true. You can dodge Whoopi and cheat. You're good. Bring it on back.
Don't forget about Ed now. He looks dumb, but he's fierce.
Gotta watch out for Ed. I just gotta sue a lot of people, man.
Yeah, he's
Lion King. Wow, this one man's responsible for all this greatness. Wow,
Frankie.
Good job, Frank. Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a legacy, man. Wow.
Exactly. The movie still does a good job of, like, there are the fucking crazy religious fanatics that are starting to, basically led by Stilgar, Javier Bardem.
Right.
Who I was mentioning, like, I think also some of the snubs for Dune 2 came in the acting. We were talking about The Brutalist earlier, how much I liked most of that film. We'll do an episode on The Brutalist.
Yes. Yeah.
But his wife in that movie, I think, was like pretty bad.
Bad? Like, she wasn't good?
Yeah.
Acting?
At certain points, I was like, ay, especially near the end when she starts getting like super dramatic and stuff. Right. And she got nominated for an Oscar for that movie, Like, I was like, I don't see the the need for the nominee there. But like, I think this movie has some great performances that did not get recognized, and they should have.
Right.
I thought that Javier Bardem, maybe not, but I think he gives a great fucking performance in this movie. Maybe should be considered.
It is heavy.
Throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Timothy Chalamet got nominated for Bob Dylan movie. You know, I love Bob Dylan, and I loved that movie. But I think the performance in this film is fucking like other fucking level.
Yeah, he goes hard.
He goes for it and pulls it off in a way that I never thought he could.
Right.
And I was ready to follow him, Banno, into space wars.
I can tell. You've been going on and on about Timmy here.
Yeah. And it's all that moment, all that speech in Dune 2, like everything leads up to that fucking point. And when he gives that fucking speech, it's in fucking whatever dialect, whatever tongue he's talking. But like, to be pulling that off, like, is fucking good.
Yeah, I think it's also really smart the way they do it, where within that speech, he's talking in that their native tongue or the tongue of whatever, and it all you can really do in that, even if you're not reading the subtitles, is you take in his like belief in saying the words. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where it's like when you hear like a different language, you know, you hear all these speeches and shit, and you don't know what the fuck they're saying, but the passion driven behind it. Now you add a radical religious background to it, and it's just like, holy fuck. And then he gives you the flip of the coin there, where he's like, well, this is all a vengeance ploy for me, because my dad pulls out the ring, fires up fucking Gurney immediately.
Well, oh yeah, Gurney was alive.
Right, comes back, he's there, and he essentially tells, you know, the people who are warrior, you know, people, that no one stands a chance against him. It's like, I've been the call. I love that line where he does say, it's like, your mother's warned you about my coming.
Yep.
And it's just like in the world of where these women, the mothers, the elders, they hold such a high fucking, I don't even know how they run the game. You know what I mean? That's like,
if this was Metal Gear Solid, they'd be the Patriots. Behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Making the fucking calls.
Yep.
But in this movie, is that shit being broken, or is this their fucking plan?
That's the plan.
It's their fucking plan.
Yeah. They have to take over. They're tired of the we don't need to fucking do the.
But at the end of this movie, it seems like Lady Jessica is telling the other bitches, like, see, bitches, now I'm gonna run it. Fuck y'all.
Right.
But then they do kind of they're like, this is all a part of it, right? Or what? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, 100%. And again, that's where the sleaze is. In particular, in that scene where he's addressing everyone, and he just told them, like, hey, you guys can all fuck off. I'll kill every last one of you. I am that guy. And they all take a knee. Before he gets to that point and he's riling up these people, I think the warning that Jessica gives him is out of like, hey, you're going to get there, but you don't have to go all out. That's what it's like.
You don't have to do it right now.
Yeah, it's like, hold on. Like, wait. Like, hey, that's to come. Or be easy on it, you know, take it slow. It's all part of the ploy. Mm-hmm. Like, she's still been instilling these thoughts. She's learned the ways they did the worm juice to get, what is the water of life, right? So
yeah. Which essentially kills them, and then they're revived with like some sinister shit going on.
Right.
And that also gives so fucking Leto, God bless him, fired one off before he fucking died into Lady Jessica.
Yes, he did.
Direct hit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pregnant. So then when she drinks the water of life, her fucking baby starts talking to her. I like that.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
And that the baby's like wise and is like kind of like giving input to Jessica about what's going on.
That's the whole thing.
It's amazing
with motherhood. That, again, it's a feminist movie. This thing, it's all feminism. Again, a baby growing inside a woman's body is essentially telling her, "Hey, I need you to do this. I don't give a fuck what you say." Why do you think women eat chalk and dirt and shit during pregnancy? They have no control of that.
What?
Yeah, these crazy cravings and shit where they
eat chalk
or dirt or a bunch of other shit. Ketchup, dirt, like a handful of dirt. Like there's been things that happen. Ask Lil sometime. Hey,
Lily ate dirt.
No, I don't think she ate dirt, but I'm saying like, you know, they don't have a control over an urge or thought or this or that because the baby requires it, because the baby is signaling to their mother like, hey, I don't care what you're doing. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And I think it gets really preachy on that sense, but at the same time, it's done really fucking well. I have no problem with it. Right?
Yeah.
She's like, wait a minute, so I have a child here? Is it a girl?
It is a girl.
And that's the thing. That's where the twist comes. Is he Lisan Al-Gaib? Is he really it? Is he the one? I will be the one. I am Yula.
Yeah. Anyways, also you get Christopher Walken as the fucking emperor finally. And he's the one. So pretty much I think he took House Atreides as a threat. He's like, this dude's just becoming too good, too noble, efficient,
handsome, great beard.
Yeah, I can't.
Smoke show wife.
Fuck this guy.
Jesus.
Kill all of his shit.
Growing son.
Yeah, and his daughter is also Florence Pugh, who was narrating the beginning of the movie, right, actually. And you get Austin Butler as Fade Rotha, the Frieza of this film.
Yes.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of Austin Butler in this film?
The cool thing for me is that I haven't seen him in anything else. So
you saw him Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, but I mean...
He gets his nuts chomped on by Brandy.
Yeah, but that's, different. This is more of like... I mean, sure
he's in there. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying,
he delivers the whole devil line.
Yeah. But like in this one, like I feel like this guy's character for this movie was really like up. Made Dave Bautista look like a bitch the entire time.
Yep.
Where in the first one, Bautista was a shit.
Scary.
He's a killer. And now
he's a killer. He just bashes some guy's head in for giving him an answer he didn't like.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
They're all ruthless.
Yeah. Give a fuck, dudes.
Fade Rotha straight up is just killing bitches, testing his knife.
Right.
That's hardcore.
He's a killer.
And then he says like the blade sticks a little bit too much. Look at how she's suffering.
Mm-hmm.
If the blade,
right. Do you not see? Yeah, no, it's true. But again, yeah, his character was a little bit more on the surface. So again, I think I just took from this one a little bit more than Once Upon a Time.
Right. But so he's like the Hercules witches plan B. Mm-hmm. If Paul does not take over, then Fade Rotha will. And either way, they're in the mix. They're in control.
Right.
And he goes through the same thing that basically Paul has to go through.
Right.
He gets put through the pain box test.
Right.
By Pew? Or does she take him elsewhere? I think Pew does it, doesn't it? She like seduces him. She leads him over here like, hey, I might just suck your dick, Fade. Oh. What about that?
Wow.
And he's just like, I think I would like to get my dick sucked. And then all of a sudden, put your dick in the pain box. Fuck.
The old C. Scheming all around.
So
But what guys won't do to get it. Just saying.
We'll do it all. We'll do it. Mm-hmm. We will do it all. But he's really shown to be like the equal or something to Paul, just on the opposite side.
Right.
He passed the same test. He's also worthy.
Right.
he's just ruthless. He's a fucking
on a
killer.
different level, but still the same. Yeah, parallel to him.
Yeah. Well, the Furmen all have to go fucking south for some reason. I can't remember why. They're like, we need to go.
Because they're getting invaded.
Oh, wait, yeah, because so Phaedroth gets Bautista's job.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, let's just fucking go in there and just blow them away.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck their little spirit pools. It's Hercules pool right there, too.
Oh, wow. You're right.
The souls.
Souls pool.
This movie is Hercules, basically.
Yeah.
Disney's Hercules, to be exact.
You're right.
Just need Danny DeVito in there. Whoa.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. What was I saying?
The pool of water.
Oh, no. So he goes in and fucks everything up.
Right.
So then they're like, okay, yeah, we need to head south. And then Paul's like, like that I have these visions of if I go south, does he say millions or billions of people are going to die?
Something like that, yeah.
And he's going to be responsible for their deaths. And he has these visions of him just walking in a wasteland of a bunch of like ashed or what,
right,
mummified bodies all around him and shit. And he's just the fucking Sith Lord walking around in his hood, you know? Evil.
Pretty dark.
And he's like, if I go that way, that's what's going to happen and shit. And then they're like, yeah, China, it's all Chinese fault. She's like, yeah, but if you don't go, nobody's going to go because they all fucking think you're the one.
Yeah, now they're going to fucking really die.
Yeah.
Not die believing in you. They're going to die.
So then she fucking guilts him into fine, let's go. But Lady Jessica is like, you need to drink from the worm piss, the blue worm piss, the fabuloso looking stuff, you know?
Yep.
And I mean, I think that's what would happen if you drank fabuloso. You'd probably have a seizure.
Seize up immediately. Come out a different person.
Whoa.
The fuck are you?
If you survive it, you might try to take over things. Yeah. That's the dirty secret of Dune. It was fabuloso all along. The blue one. The most deadly fabuloso.
Life-altering one.
The water of life, god damn it. It's fabulous. So then he takes it, he dies, but he like it's also like Sleeping Beauty. He's like loves True Kiss to wake his ass up.
Right.
So they have to go get Chani's ass.
Right.
And then she has like a good little monologue or like speech where she's like, what the fuck did you do to him, dude? Like you made him drink that shit. Like you fucking killed him. And
right.
She's like, you fucking bring him back. Like, why are you going to make me do it? But then she like uses the force. You know?
Someone's getting sued.
She forces Chani into like, she has to give him like water or something, right? So
her water.
So I think it's like is it not a tear? One of her tears?
Tear? Wow. I don't recall that, but
I think she uses a single tear. Dragon tears.
Wow.
Which as we all know, turn into jelly beans. Anyway. So I want to say it's a tear, a little Batman and Robin. You know, when you see Mr. Freeze's tear freeze a little, I think they took it. I think they stole it from that.
Okay.
Or it didn't happen in this movie, and I'm remembering Mr. Batman and Robin.
Val Kilmer did die. You know what? We didn't open up with that.
Shit. R.I.P. to Val Kilmer.
Fucking P, man.
Doc Holliday in that big saloon in the sky up there.
Yeah, just doing it. Just spinning that wheel.
Just drinking whiskey and
speaking Latin. Just doing it.
Shooting motherfuckers.
R.I.P.
Anyway, R.I.P. to him. Legend. What were we saying?
She cries into
life.
life.
Dragon tears. And then she gets like a little drop of the water of life with either one of her tears or some of her moisture and puts it in, I don't know.
Essentially gives him a sensu bean. You know what I mean? Dragon Ball Z style.
Okay.
Saying you brought up Frieza earlier, and now we're getting into the mechanics of it all. Okay? Which, you know, Paul needs to realize another level within himself, much like Goku did. Okay?
Exactly.
And we all know what happened when he faced Frieza.
Yeah.
You know, we want to get there once we get there. Just saying. Just saying.
It's true. That's a good point. Paul is resurrected with love and tears, and Mr. Freeze, the love of Mr. Freeze for his wife, Nora, all of that.
That's why he did it.
Comes to play. And he wakes up, and now all of a sudden he's just like, I'm running this shit. Gives his great speech. Basically finishes winning everybody over. Now it's official. He's in charge.
Right.
And when he finds Gurney again, Gurney is the first one to tell him. He's just like, wait a minute. You're like with the Furman and you're fighting as one of them and they trust you? Like, there are millions of them. And if they follow you, like, bro, you could fucking take over everything. Because no one even knows how many of them are there.
Right.
Like, only whenever they attack, only a few of them come out. They have no idea the vast number of vermin that there is.
Right.
And Gurney tells them, like, bro, if you pull this off, you can have like the greatest fucking army to fucking rule. Yes, Hades rule.
Hades rules. A lot of ties.
A lot of Hercules here.
Wow, dude. You know what? I'm glad we're having this conversation. Dude.
That's the insight I bring to this, you know. I really make the connections.
It's a gift, really. You're welcome.
And then you get the fucking ultimate betrayal too. Because at this point, Paul, which I see as evil Paul here, who's going to make all of those visions come true, he's like, all right, well, then I have to fucking become emperor. I'm going to fucking take Florence. I'm going to trade up.
Right.
I'm going to get the nicer luxury model.
Yeah. Upgrade.
Yeah.
I'll lease it, though. I don't want it forever. I'll lease it.
So I'm going to just take Pew, and I challenge the Emperor to a duel. If you're too old, then choose your champion.
Yep.
And let's get down to fucking business.
Let's speed this up, yeah?
And just starts taking over to like tell the great houses that I will fucking blow all of the spice up. I don't give I will end all this shit.
Right.
If they don't fucking listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he basically tries to become emperor there. Has a nice, great fight with Phaedrotha, which they show a gladiator scene with Phaedrotha earlier, which is pretty cool. I like the visuals, black and white and stuff.
Right.
The xenomorphs on the side of the
right.
of the fucking.
It's pretty cool.
The Gladiator. A little tip of the hat to Ridley Scott, I think. He's like, I'm going to do Gladiator and throw some Xenos in there.
He won't sue him. He'll just be like, you know what? Hey.
Well, he made Blade Runner 2, which Ridley Scott produced, because it's a sequel to a Ridley Scott movie.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's got Ridley support.
Okay,
throw a Xeno in there.
Why not?
It's cool, Denis.
Yeah. It's fine. Do 2. Looks good.
Yeah. But Paul, do the emotions good where he's fighting Phaedrotha and you think that there's a chance maybe he's going to die. He gets stabbed and you're like, oh shit. And, you know, Chani's there kind of being like, damn, am I about to watch my man die? You know, he has been acting a fool. I kind of want him to die.
Right.
Because she's the only one out of basically everybody who's like, wait a fucking second, like, let's not follow this dude, even though I was the one literally sucking on his balls a week ago.
Right.
And I think that's at the end of the day what this movie is about. disloyal women will make monsters. Right. You don't support us,
right?
You'll create monsters, and I think that's what this whole movie's about.
Right. Even if you're the Messiah, you're still gonna get it.
They'll drive you over the edge, man. They're like, fine, I'll fucking. What if I just fucking take over everything, huh?
Fate. Rotha, get over here. Let's fucking end this shit.
I'd rather fight you than fucking argue with her one more time.
I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Let's do it.
Let's fight to the death.
There's another one over there. Emperor, I'm going to take your fucking daughter. I'm tired of this.
You better kiss my ring after 2.
Again, Goku does not achieve SS1 without fighting Frieza, okay? In the middle of this fight, right? They're going toe to toe. It's a really good fight. The visual too, the shadow play, the black background with the exposed T and shit. Like, that was really cool.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Beautiful stuff.
I love it.
Proximo couldn't have said it better. Honestly, if he would have said some shit like that, would have
been proud.
Wow. He was watching, dude.
Win the crowd.
Just fucking epic shit, right? You know they're gonna fucking battle to death. And in this fight, he puts down Paul and he sees him make eye contact to Chani. And he's like, all right, this is where I'm gonna get this dude.
He says, I think I'm gonna challenge her. See what I did there?
Yeah,
challengers.
I saw it. I saw it. And at that point, honestly, if you wanted to sync both of those up, she should have just been like, "Come on!" Right?
Exactly.
It would have took it to the next fucking level.
Damn.
Just saying. Fuck, man. But he calls her his pet.
Hell yeah.
Hey, do I need to do anything special to your bitch? Because you're about to die. And she's going to be my bitch for like a week. Right? Because he's just killing women.
Then I'm going to,
He doesn't care. He just kills
Then
her.
I'm going to test my knife on her.
And see if that chip is gone. Goku does not achieve SS1 if Krillin doesn't die and all the other people are at risk here. And I think that is the start of Paul being that.
Right.
Because he gets hurt. Hey, Goku was down.
It almost seems like, okay.
He had one hand to fire off the perfect Kamehameha. Okay? After being hit, homeboy gets stabbed. Chalamet, first of all, you're getting stabbed in the gut.
Yeah.
You got like a minute to live.
Well, at the end of the day, Paul wins with distraction, not because he was the superior warrior, because he had essentially been killed. It's just that Fade forgot there was that other knife in there. He's distracted with this knife.
Also,
the prestige.
Also, Goku launches 2 destructive.
Why are we still talking about Dune? I'm telling you that Goku.
Right? You're launching some destructo discs, right? Because Krillin was a master of those. And you guys learned them together because Krillin was,
Of course.
Not to get deep into that. But distraction happens here and Frieza gets cut. And that's what happens to fucking Rotha here. He's distracted with his own fucking arrogance. You arrogant fool! Literally is what Goku says to him before he blasts him. You could have finished the job. You were right. He was down.
Yeah.
You could have died. End of story. Lisan al Gaib. Muerto.
Nope.
Finito. Done. Doesn't do it.
No.
Pays the price.
Yeah. But also shows you where he's willing to go.
Right.
He's an underdog.
Right.
He swooped out under there. He should have died, but he found a way to live.
Yeah.
So
opposed to the first test where he was fighting your boy Jamis, Jessica's like, he's never killed before. He can't take a life. He's not ready. He was ready. He was more than ready to kill this guy. Even if he had to use trickery You know what I mean? Sleaze his way in there.
Real sleaze.
Mm-hmm.
Paul he beats Fate. Emperor down on his knees, kisses the ring. I don't know what it's called. The Empire? I don't know. They refuse to acknowledge his ascension to Emperor.
Right.
So then he's like, all right, then. Let's fucking go to war then. And then basically all of the fucking... Now he has all of the Emperor ships and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And has the Furman to fucking go out and fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the movie ends. And it ends with Lady Jessica just being like, all right. And I love because the baby's like, what's happening, mother?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, the holy war has begun. It's like, damn. And you're just seeing all the ships getting ready to go.
Yeah, some already taking off.
And then Chani's just bitter woman scorned face. She gets straight cucked in front of everybody, in front of the Emperor, in front of Walken.
Yeah, she got used to it. That's what you get. You do that in Challengers, and then you get a little dose, and you don't like it. She did not like that.
But I love how the movie does end like with her like ultimate betrayal. Paul's like, "Hey, bitch, I tried it with you. Mm-hmm. You didn't support me. Mm-mm. I'm taking my chances with Pew. Mm-hmm. Let's see what Grandpa has to offer, and mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go take over the world now. If you want to stay here and play with your fucking worms, that's fine."
A little science experiment here. Once you wrap that up, I'll be done conquering the galaxy. How about that?
Yeah, but it ends with her face, and I think we know where this story's headed, right?
Right.
He saw it in the prophecy in the first movie. She kills him. I'm calling it.
Right.
She's going to kill him at the end of the third one.
Or she becomes a believer and they do that getaway ship shit, which was really cool.
I know that the ending of Dune, the David Lynch movie, it has a happy ending with them like being together and like ruling or whatever.
I mean, that's up to, yeah, sure. Okay.
I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the Dunes, and
glorious fucking film for sure. Both of these are epic. Again, my perception upon these are a little bit more on the motherhood side of stuff, just on the preachy feminism that it is, not as in your face.
Right.
But perfectly executed on all levels. Everyone brought it. Everyone's fucking crushing it.
There's nothing bad in this movie.
There's no flaw.
There's nothing bad in it. And so here we go. So it got nominated for 5 Academy Awards, as opposed to the other one that I think had a good amount of nominations and wins. Mm-hmm. This one, it won for Best Sound. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, fair. Cool. It won Best Achievements, Visual Effects. Of course.
Yep.
It did not win Motion Picture of the Year, which that's what it got nominated for Best Picture. Best Achievement in Cinematography did not win. I think that went to The Brutalist.
Okay.
Best Achievement in Production Design did not win.
Wow.
But like, I still haven't seen some of these other movies, but like The Brutalist, I really like that movie.
Same.
But I mean, I don't know. Is the cinematography in that movie better than the cinematography in this movie? Like, The Brutalist is a very pretty movie in its own right. Like, no doubt about it. And it should be nominated.
Right.
But is it better than the visuals of this fucking movie? I don't think so.
I think it probably comes down to like the setting, right? The fantasy over the grand physical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that just the fact that it was so fantastical or whatever, such a high production, super fucking, I mean, it's a blockbuster film, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Dune is insane. I completely regret not watching that in IMAX.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the greatest experiences ever.
And it's one of those things where it's just like, unless you do that, will your appreciation... And I mean, it was successful, but it ain't crossed no billy. You know, it ain't crossed $1 billion, which is kind of shitty, you know?
Yeah. At least, though, like, 700 million. Like that's a good amount, and that means a lot of people watched.
Right.
And that's good.
It's opening the doors for that, so that when they do crazier shit like this down the line, obviously not Dune again, but some shit crazy like that, then people will recognize and be like, okay, yeah, this is now the new standard of this. You know what I mean? It's like when The Dark Knight came on. You know what I mean? It changed the fucking game.
For sure.
IMAX and all that shit. So I think this one probably elevates that to the next level.
I think so too. And like I said, this guy's Denis Villeneuve's a fucking master. And all the movies that we listed before, all of them are fucking fantastic. And the fact that he was not nominated for this movie is a sin. And like I mentioned before, it's just like, what are we doing? If you're giving out awards for something called Best Director, the director of this movie should be on that fucking list.
Right.
Get Emilia Perez out of there, you know? We have to look at the list. I don't have it in front of me, like the Best Director, Best Picture nominees. But I mean, like, that's just something on the top of my head saying, like, if you had to take something out to make room for this,
right?
I'm pretty sure, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure that's one you could have done, you know?
And I think they recognize that because Emilia Perez didn't win shit.
It won 2 Oscars.
Yeah, but I mean, to what it was supposed to.
Same as fucking Dune. It won the same amount of Oscars as Dune 2.
Right, but I don't think Dune had all the fucking, oh my God, it's this, it's that. Emilia Perez was a whole different beast. I think it had like, what, 10 nominations? 13 nominations?
13.
Some shit like that.
Well,
right?
Since we recorded all of that, then came out all of the controversy about the...
That's what I mean. Like, it was supposed to be... You think Honora was gonna... They were like, last minute switch up here.
I feel like, yeah, for sure.
You know
all
what I mean?
that controversy... Because when we were talking about Honora, it was right when Emilia Perez was getting all of this hype. Fucking James Cameron had just fucking said, hey, best fucking thing I've seen all year or whatever. And it had that hype. Literally like 2-3 weeks after we recorded that, the controversy comes out about the stuff that the actress in the movie said, and kills all of the momentum and shit that the movie had been building up to that point. And on default from that, it had to all go back to Honora, because I think when it comes to the other movies in the picture, it was Honora in the Brutalist,
right,
and the Substance. And I've heard other people say it, and it makes sense. It's like the Brutalist and the Substance were just too hardcore.
Right.
I'm very surprised the Substance got any fucking
Same here. I didn't think
Oscar recognition.
Anything. Yeah.
Like the fact that a movie that extreme got recognized, like that's a good thing, as much as I shit on the Academy Awards.
Right.
The fact that they recognized that movie and it won an Oscar for best like makeup or something like that, you know? It's awesome that film won that. And that Demi Moore was the front runner to win Best Actress was like really cool and exciting. And then Mikey Madison wins for Honora, and I think it all had to do with the fall of Emilia Perez.
For
like
sure.
The Brutalist also a little too hardcore, you know?
And that's also kind of...
Honora ends up falling kind of in the middle as the most normal movie in the fucking group.
Right.
So I feel like it wins by default, because the Brutalist has a crazy twist at the end that just like, and then also that movie like has a bunch of real sexual stuff in it that comes out of nowhere, and the whole movie I was like, why are we wasting time with like this crazy sexual stuff?
Oh, it's a bunch of junkied out, jazz cats doing their thing. You know what I mean? They're really, doing their things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think it became like the normal films. Like, it doesn't have a lot of controversy behind it. It's just some whore. Pretty straightforward stuff.
This one's tame.
We don't gotta go into the crazy trauma.
When we look at all these movies here, this one's pretty tame.
Yeah. It's not saying a whole lot that we don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. But also, I feel like that's also us generating some form of excuse for it too, because I watched Amelia Perez and it definitely doesn't deserve anything either. But I'm just thinking, like, I kind of hope that that's why Honora won, because I didn't think it should win shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, like Lily again, bringing up Lil again.
Mm-hmm.
She was like totally like, I'm happy, I'm okay with that win. I was like, I'm not okay with it.
No.
Like, I'm not like furious. Like, this is an outrage. Like, fuck it. Like, better her win it than some of the other.
Right. I like the movie, sure.
Yeah. But I don't think she should have won. I don't think she was the best actress.
No.
As a matter of fact, going back to like Nosferatu, why didn't fucking Depp get nominated for that movie? I think she did it. That was way better acting than anything that bitch did in Honora.
Yeah, no, that was good. I finally did watch Nosferatu.
That's horny scared. That horny scared.
Yeah.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Give her an Oscar.
Yep.
But anyways, I think that wraps her up for Dune.
It's been a journey, dude, and you know what? I'm glad I did it in one sitting, and I'm glad that it wasn't a couple years of anticipation that you had. So I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry for your journey. Okay.
It's all good. And whatever. You get to wait for part 3, you know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Which seems like it's being pushed. Like, we didn't know when we were going to get it. Denis Villeneuve said he wanted to like kind of like take a break from Dune for a minute, maybe go off and do another movie. So it seemed like, okay, it's going to be a while.
Right.
But it seems like they are maybe going to fast track it. Maybe because it, like, Josh Brolin, God bless him, when Denny didn't get recognized for the first movie either. It won a bunch of Oscars and stuff, but he didn't get recognized for Dune 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Brolin said, like, dude, like, fucking, it's a sin. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. Like, how could they not recognize him?
Right.
So then when Dune 2 came out, Josh Brolin said when he was, like, promoting that movie, if Denny does not get a nomination for Dune 2, which I've seen and it is a fucking masterpiece, he said, I will quit acting. And then when Denis didn't win, he like tweeted like, well, I guess I'm quitting acting. like you guys fucking did this shit again. Like I unbelievable. And I'm right there with him, dude. Like,
right.
Obviously he's probably not going to quit acting, but the point of what he was trying to make is like, I might as well quit acting if he does not get recognized.
It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for some of these other movies to be getting the praise that they were getting, like, fucking, even if you don't give him best director, I think this is best picture,
right? Like,
no doubt about it. This was the movie of that year, man.
It deserves a top tier nod for sure, or acknowledgement of some sort.
Because we are
who else? Who the fuck else is doing shit like this? What other dude?
It's straight up like Christopher Nolan.
That's it.
And no, there's a couple other ones like Robert Eggers. Okay. He's up there. Okay.
But I mean, like, grand scale shit. Like, that's some next level shit.
Right.
I don't think Eggers gonna put out a space fucking movie anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
a couple years, sure. I'm not saying he can't.
Maybe
do
not.
it.
Maybe not. You're right. I don't think he will. He has been on record saying that he has no interest in like directing anything that isn't like about like just like the old centuries and shit. Like that's what he's gonna do.
Right.
But there is. I'd have to think. We have to really fucking look at the directors right now. Right. But I mean, we just got word that David Fincher's probably gonna direct a Tarantino script.
Right.
Like, that sounds way too good to be true. Yeah, I so hope that happens. But if that happens, it's going to be like one of the craziest collaborations of all fucking time.
Right. Yeah, it'd be pretty wild.
David Fincher directing a Quentin Tarantino script.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
You know Tarantino's going to have his toes in the water for sure.
Well, it'll be his script.
Well, still, but I mean, you know, he's gonna have to influence. the reason why Tarantino films are also fucking really dope, aside from the dialogue and all that shit, it's because of the way they're
The
shot.
style.
Yeah, the style. Fincher has his own style. He has a very
Visuals. They're both very visual too. I
Yeah.
just rewatched Kill Bill. Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
All of his movies. Fucking Hateful Eight. Visuals, fantastic.
Hateful Eight's a good one
Yeah.
for the tight space.
The landscapes of like the snow and everything too. It's really nice. But yeah. That's
Hopefully it's true. I mean, I'm scared, but also curious.
yeah. Well, you know, hopefully part 3 comes. And I mean, I've also been reading. So these 2 movies are based on the Dune novel. The novel that follows is called Dune Messiah, and it keeps the story going. But that's like another book. So I don't know if he's going to try to tackle that book in one movie, or if he's going to do 2 movies again, because then that book's probably going to, like, from what I've heard, it's a pretty crazy story.
Right.
And he did change things about the Dune novel to make it fit. Like, I think, like, the whole Chani and Paul, like, disagreeing is not a part of it. Like, he completely created that.
Okay.
Like, so he might not follow it exactly, right? He's already laid out his own path, and he's going to, you know,
Right.
use the novel or whatever, but who knows what's going to happen. And I don't know what goes on in those novels either, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, look, I think if he's gonna put a whole book in a movie, the best way you can possibly do that and keep it under 3 hours, you know, some shit like that. Who's a master who's done that in the past? Who's giving you the story done front to end? You know what I'm saying? Passion of the Christ.
Get the fuck
No. You get Mel to co-sign this bitch, and you have a story.
Have Shyamalan help him, have him executive produce.
No, you get Mel.
Get out of here.
You get Mel to come in and be like, all right, guys, this is how we're going to do it.
All right, whatever. You just ended the show. Yeah, so we'll continue the Oscar journey. We do want to do an episode on The Brutalist, and then eventually Emilia Perez. And
watch it, dude.
give a couple of our takes on the other films, and then just end this journey. But yeah, we had to pay tribute to the Dune films, and there you go. There you have it.
Wait. One last thing, though. If motherfucking Ethan Hawke doesn't...
He should have been the Emperor.
Doesn't come in, you know, for a swoop. For Dune 3.
Find a role for him,
Yeah, just
Denis.
make one.
Come on.
What the fuck?
Stop fucking around.
We need that.
You've been fucking around. Stop fucking around. Cast Ethan Hawke in Dune 3. Enough.
That's it.
Enough. Then the Academy will recognize you.
You'll win. That's what Josh is trying to say.
Yep.
Essentially saying, hey, hire Ethan Hawke.
Exactly.
So I don't have to quit. Fuck.
Fucking shit. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you follow the shows on the other network. We're brought to you by Salad Bites Media each and every episode. Make sure to follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. Give us some likes, some subscribes, Spotify. Give us some ratings. Me and Banno are on Letterboxd now, so I am Electro MPH on Letterboxd,
And I am Banno MPH.
so go ahead and follow us on all the social media. And anything else, Banno?
That's it for me.
All right, sayonara, Sammy.
Later.
The Electro and Banno